welcome to another Ride Along with Goggles. And yeah, so here we are, part two, round two, I guess, with this Edison L750 truck. And yeah, mistakes were made in the first one, just not understanding what it was all about and how it really worked. Well, I got, I understand the principle and everything else, but how to use this truck, this mod in ATS, I didn't have that figured out. And what I'm going to do, I want to pull over to the service icon here and see if I can't get some beacons on it. I was using it for logging, but I want to pull a heavy load out of East Glacier, Recon and Driver 47 site here. Let's get it over to that icon there and see what we can do. Well, I haven't pulled this load yet. I've pulled 50,000 pounds of logs out of here. I haven't tried 100 and, what have we got, 106,500 pounds. I haven't tried anything like that. So we're going to have a look here and see if we've got beacons, and at the same time we're going to show you the engine and transmission you should use. There we go, we got beacons. So for the engine, so HFG has by default this engine. So they have it at, now as I was saying, I was going to learn a little bit more about the truck, and it actually has a combined torque rating of 102,000 foot-pounds. So that's pretty phenomenal, but remember, as I was saying in the last video, that happens at 0 RPM. And as the RPM increases, torque does go down. It not significantly, but it does. But they make peak torque when they're not doing anything, so it's kind of a weird scenario. But I looked at the engine specs, so I put this engine in because you can see here he's got, and I glanced over this the first time, 110K, 110,000 foot-pounds he has here at 500 RPM. That's what's running the generator at. So I tried it. And it had it was terrible because it was just going pop, 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 bouncing off a rev limiter. So I went in and I checked, and the rev limiter was set at 600. So it was 500 to 600 RPM. I couldn't get 50,000 pounds of logs up the hill. So I made this engine 450 horsepower at the same torque. And all I did was, and that's because the tri-axle truck has this option, a 450 horsepower engine. And so I made it. And then, but what I did is I bumped the rev limiter up to 800 RPM, and I could walk out of here no problem with 800. It says 1,000 here. I didn't change that yet. I meant to change that, but this is just a mod on my own right. Like, I kind of peeled this out of the Steam mod so that I could do things, not have it change with an update. Like, add the weight to the chassis so it has some traction. I didn't go nuts on it. Oh yeah, and it was so I could steer it, remember. Anyway, let's go. Oh, the transmission, wait a minute. And I had that darn 10-speed in there. It had this 2-speed. And if you try this 2-speed with a regular engine, you're not going to go anywhere. It takes a lot of power to get this thing moving. Look at the ratio, 0.42. Instead of like we're usually running 326s up to 355s or down to 308. 0.42. That's pretty much 1-to-1. Okay, so out of the way, let's go and see what we do here. So I do know that I can get this trailer out of here. Tried it just to make sure that it was going to get out before I bothered doing a load. But what we're going to do is, I have no idea if we're going to get this thing out that tunnel. We get stuck, we'll have to fly it out of there, which I really hope doesn't happen. Okay, so this thing, I'm going to check and see, do we have the dip lock on? Nope. I think we're going to put it on. Yeah, it looks better. Okay. Well, let's go. So you don't have to get on the throttle much and for often. Like, I'm barely touching it here. We're moving along quite nicely. You'll see RPM, I'm at 650 RPM. We're going 25, 30 miles an hour, and I got my foot off the throttle. And we're pulling 106,000 pounds, pretty cool. Let's see what happens when we get around here. Okay. All right, stepping on it a bit. Brake and traction. Whoops. Guess I should try and get off the snow. Yeah, so you definitely wouldn't have done that without the dip lock in, I don't think. Now these shoulders, this snowbank stuff is really hard, so you gotta not hit it. But we gotta get the. When I came around here empty, the Jeep was hitting the inside corner and it was slapping back and forth like a dog's tail. I'm hitting that. I guess there's no weight on it. Oh, no. Yeah, you gotta watch that stuff. It's hard. Hopefully don't seem to be damaging the trailer. Okay. All right. So we know the thing's got bags of power. Now it's just, can we get out of here and then to see what it's like on the highway with the proper power and transmission. And I won't have to be slamming gears all the time with this thing, so I feel I owe you guys an apology for just jumping in and taking off and doing everything wrong. Now I don't know if it uses regenerative braking or not. That would be an interesting thing. There's a spec on the regenerative power, and I think it was 300 and some kilowatts, which is quite a bit. So yeah, like I say, I was just struggling with this thing until I looked at the, opened up the engine file and looked in it and saw that I thought it was okay. I'm out of gas or something's wrong. It's just, or it's hitting a rev limit or something, which it turns out what it was, because it's just going bump, 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 and because the rev range was 100 RPM, and I could not get a, like I say, a 50,000 pound load of logs out of there. That's pretty cool. I don't have my foot very hard on the throttle. Our problem is traction here. So that I didn't put that much weight on the driving axles yesterday or whenever we last drove it. I added 1,000 kilograms per axle, which in retrospect is kind of light, because you look at these axles, they got great big honking electric engines in them and electric motors, and for like a 2-speed, if we in fact have a 2-speed in this truck in real life, it's in the axles. There's more weight. It's not a, and it would be a, I would assume it has to be a planetary type transmission if it was a 2-speed, because how would you have it any other way? Automatic transmissions are a form of planetary transmission, and they're concentric. Everything's concentric, and yeah. Around here, gotta watch watch this rock. I hit that right there last time trying to keep the trailer off the wall, and there was no problem. So this is where it's going to get tricky, this tunnel. Like, I just hope we can get through it without having to fly out of here. That would be nice. I wouldn't know where to fly to, because not very many straight sections out here. So we gotta... I don't know the dimensions of this truck very well. I'm gonna try and sneak up to that wall without hitting it. No idea how I'm doing, but I like to look in the mirror here, but I'm kind of paranoid of the rocks. Okay, we're okay back there. I'm gonna run into anything here. How did we do? Oh, I think we did okay. All right. Come on, baby. You know you got the power, it's just the traction. Just try and not give it too much throttle. Let it work its way out here. Easy. So you can see how attractive this thing would be to an industry that wants to reduce fuel consumption but pull a really heavy load at not insane speeds. And the one thing a guy would have to understand is what is the effect, or what does driving at highway speeds do to the life expectancy of these transaxles or powered axles or whatever you call them. I have no idea what to call them. Okay, we gotta give it some throttle here. Come on. Oh no. Yeah, we didn't give it enough weight the other day on the axles. Okay, I'll pause and I'll come back. I'll fix it. Okay, so we're back. Let's see what we can do now. Put her in first. Get the brakes off. Oh, get it stopped here. Oh boy. I don't know how far. We can't back up too far down this hill, can we? Oh, I should try the trick I did. I'll try a trick here. This is something I figured out quite a while ago. Gotta put it in reverse here. We're gonna jackknife the Jeep. And when we get the Jeep jackknifed, you'll see what advantage this can have. Because we're gonna be able to drive forward, and we're gonna go a good 10 feet at least or more before that Jeep starts pulling on the trailer. And when it pulls on the trailer, it's going to pull on it progressively because it's coming around, and we should get a run at it this way. Should be able to, this will help us get some momentum. Oh, we don't have the diff lock on. Oh, okay. I guess it got reset when we put that on. Yeah, now we gotta do the, as we were spinning, I made it a, oh, I don't know, I powered the front axle. And you can order this thing with a tri-steer. Like, so 6 axles, and they can all be powered. You can have six powered axles in this thing. Yeah, let's try this again with the lock diff on. Oh yeah, look at this take off now. Don't want to get that left front tire off the road. I don't know. See what happens. Guess gonna have to. Oh, that's too many tires off the road. Uh-oh. Come on, steer. There we go. We got the trailer around. Good. Oh, okay. Yeah, that little trick with jackknifing the trailer. I can't remember where I did that, but it was way when I first got the game. I was, like I say, I was just triple lowboys all the time, and I got stuck on a logging road with the mighty 6 1/4 King of the Hill KaD. And I was trying everything. I was going, just struggling to get the darn thing unstuck, and I didn't know how to call for service or anything. I didn't know anything about the game, but I eventually figured out that if I did that jackknife the Jeep thing, and then I got enough of a tug on the trailer that off we went. We're running out of fuel already? What? Oh my, you know what? We have to turn off realistic fuel consumption. It's going down it's crazy. It's going down like a gallon. It's going about 2 gallons a second. It just dropped 20, 30 gallons just now. What? That doesn't make sense. Let's get rid of realistic fuel consumption. We used 125 gallons already. What? No, we've used 160 gallons just getting out of there. Now that doesn't make sense. In preferences. Definitely don't want realistic fuel consumption on here. Turn that off. See if that gives us enough fuel to get somewhere where we can get fuel. That's nuts. Wow. Whoops. Get in right gear. See what this thing does now. Okay, it hasn't dropped anything yet. Oh, there goes. I'll try unlocking the diff. Fuel is still going down, but not as quick. It was like there was a 3-inch hole in the bottom of the tank. Okay, I wonder what that's about. Because we were talking yesterday about how great the fuel mileage is. Oh darn, we don't have a GPS. Where are we going? We're going to Missoula. I wonder if we should take this left here. Try it. Get around all of this. Whoa, we're going out in the field. Oh boy. Bit of an S-turn. That's the thing, you did that okay. You can't look over your shoulder and see out the back with this truck. The mirrors are nothing. Okay, well, what we need to do... see what there is for fuel along the way. I don't know if there's anything, so we're gonna have to, once we get this thing rolling on the highway, we're gonna have to, and I think it will be really, really light on the throttle. Because it's got an abundance of power.
After 100 yards, turn left.
So you shouldn't have to be standing on it too much.
Turn left.
Alright, we had to stop there. Have a quick look at the map, see where we can get fuel. Nowhere. Oh, there. Or our home shop. Okay. Well, we know we're going to go that far if we can get that far. Try it out. See what we can do. So it's this interesting scenario here. We're accelerating, but we're not hearing the engine really increase in speed. Our speed is going up, up, up. The engine's starting to go up too. Okay. There's our shift. Our one shift. And the fuel. Could be iffy. Worst case scenario, we'll have to call for fuel, but I think that takes time. Bad there isn't any here. It's gonna be bad and kind of whistler through town a little bit so that we don't want to slow down too much. And we just got to burn fuel accelerating again. Oh, it's different. I'd like to try it up a load like this up Bellingham Mountain. Or, you know, come to think of it, up the west slope up and around Glacier National Park. Steer's a little funny with the powered front axle. As soon as the power starts coming on, you can feel it tugging at the wheel a bit. If you give it enough jam. Oh, this is entertaining. It's so different. I can't explain to you how different this is. I'm going to get in a conventional truck and maybe I'll do it right after this. Reacquaint myself with normality. This is so different. That's kind of intriguing. I really wish I had known about the fuel before got into this trip. Because that was pretty nuts how fast we were going through it. I got 15 gallons left. I think it's a 200-gallon tank. Used 185 gallons of fuel. And like 165 of that in a hurry. So that was that realistic fuel consumption. So something's not right there. Because this thing is supposed to be fuel efficient. Just watching to see how it's dropping when I don't even have my foot on the throttle. It's still going down at the same rate as if I was had my foot on it. Going down 1/10 of a gallon every, okay, there's one. There's another. I'm not even touching the throttle, there's another. Okay, well. Do the old lift and coast thing, like
Keep left.
Try not to hit the brakes. This guy's going slow because the speed limit's only 45. Darn, I regret using that fuel to speed up. I gotta get right on this guy's butt. Hey, go. Oh, don't hit the brakes, it's 55 now. No! Oh. Shoot. Should have let myself get this close to him. Gotta lose speed. Don't want to lose. Darn it all. How are we doing on fuel? Oh, 11.8. I should be monitoring the brake temperatures too. I got on here and see what happens, and if they get as hot as pulling this much weight on a conventional. And might explain whether we're getting some regenerative braking calculated in or not, because that would take heat off the brakes. Shoot, we're down to 11 gallons. I have a sneaking suspicion this load is urgent too. Let's see, how long is this truck? Might be able to get this thing through the home garage for fuel too. I'll see what the layout is at that fuel station up ahead. Oh, it's an Toro Mountain Brew down, whoa, down that road. Oh, shit. I have to stop. I think we're gonna make it to the fuel stop. If we've got to go all the way around the block and do a do-si-do, I might just go to the home garage and get fuel there. Oh, I'm in second. That's not helpful. There we go. That's where I guess should have had it in automatic mode. Oh, we're running the light. Okay, let's jump out here and see what we can see. What's coming up? Want to get early read on this gas
straight.
fuel station. Oops, another red light. Shoot. Oh, man. It's all for science, as Recon would say. I think I better go here for fuel if I can. Yeah, we'll go here. This is easy. Straight in. What do we got left? 9 gallons. That doesn't exactly jump off the line.
Keep left.
But it's funny when you're driving.
50 yards, turn left.
When you're driving it around empty, it's pretty funny. I mean, as in no traction. Oh shoot, this is a one way, and don't tell me this guy's gonna want. Good. Okay. Oh, that was kinda scarios. Let's see what this thing actually holds. What? I thought it was 200 gallons. $189. So we used 180 gallons. Talking at us anyway. Talking. Huh. Oh. Our beacons. Why didn't even turn beacons on? Yeah, we can go out over here. You know, you can get a load like this through the home garage. If you've never tried it, it's kind of fun. As I've mentioned before, I've taken the triple Aussie side tipper trailers through the home garage. In a video, you can see it if you want. Kind of doubt that you can. And I've taken these triple Lowboys through tons of times because that's where I used to get my fuel before I started doing videos. I don't generally have to stop for fuel. But look at us go. Ooh. We're off and running. Step on it a bit. Yeah, she gets up and goes.
Keep right. After 50 yards, turn right.
Tricky
Turn
one.
right.
Okay, we got the green, so we don't really have to worry about somebody coming over our shoulder here. Lots of stuttering right here. Real bad.
Go straight.
Real bad stuttering.
Go straight.
Gonna have to get in the left lane up here. What I want to do is turn on my frame counter and see what the heck's going on in town here. Yeah, we're at 50. We're down at 49 frames a second when it went on there. What's going on? Ooh, Hell Creek. Yeah, if I turn my head and look around, bouncing around, it's really, look at that. Terrible. That ain't performance. The one thing I keep reminding people, I guess, or I should do more often, is your frame rate can be affected by your trailer and the cargo because the computer's got to draw all that stuff. Oh, look at us, just that guy in the dust.
Keep left. After 50 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Interesting truck. I can see this having the power. I think definitely think the axles were way too light for what this thing is in the mod, or at least probably they're probably half of what they should be, maybe. Well, that's a hard thing to say. Maybe not half. I didn't double them, but I probably added 3/4 of their weight again. It seems to get us going where we need to go. I can see this being handy. I wonder if HFG will tweak some of these things. Because that was, man, I was frustrated when I couldn't get it out of there with 50,000 pounds on it. It just didn't have the power. Like, it wasn't that I was spinning the tires or anything, it was just, I wouldn't even get up to the snow zone coming out of that yard Glacier. I wouldn't even hit the snow and it would be dead in the water. Halted on the hill. Oh, it's got the Penerdle thing on there. I didn't even notice. Reverse neutral, drive low. Interesting. Oh, hey, maybe we can see who we got in this truck. Who's driving that one? Harvey. Oh, there's Harvey. Nice. I think we're going to go through another light. I think it was Harvey's suggestion that I try this truck. Oh, we better stop for this one. Oh, the skin. Jeez, it's pretty much done. There's a few little finagles in it. I don't get it. I'm going to have to try and... The stripes at the bottom of the cab. On this side, they take a little nosedive. On this side, they go straight. I can fix that. I spent about, oh, I don't know, 2-3 hours messing with those stripes around the top of the roof. And they're about as good as it's going to get. Because the different angles make the stripes different widths. And where they meet, they do weird things. And it's just... It wasn't... oh no, I'll say what it was. Wow, look at the grass growing here on the old City Hall. What's going on there? What the heck? All over town. He's furry. Man. Gotta do something about this, guys. The whole damn town. What?
Go straight.
That is wild. It's interesting, we're just ghosting along at a major rate of knots. Oh, over here. Jeez, that's just wild in the straight, flat, how well this is going. Better than the frame rates anyway. What have we used? 5 gallons. No, we haven't even used 5 gallons yet. We had 189.
Go straight.
Well, wait a minute. Oh yeah, 189, and I had 9 in it, so 201 gallons. Yeah, we've used 6 gallons. there. I thought we're gaining fuel. Yeah, look at the frames down to 47 here. If I look around, I can. Oh, it goes up if I look over there. If I look over here, 60. Looking straight ahead, it drops. I look at the ceiling, goes up to 60. So something out there. You guys will have to comment if any of you are using this truck. Do you think it's hard on frames? Is it the truck or something weird going on here with all this grass on the ground? I wonder if it's trying to draw all this grass. I'll have to talk to Recon about this. See if all this grass is as a result of anything with the map mod. Okay, so the grass is getting back to normal here. Oh, this makes a great heavy haul truck. We're just flying along here with very little effort. And we used a gallon. Like, wow. You have to slow down for this corner. So it has oodles of power. I gotta think of where the big climbs on pavement are. Oh, let's see. Well, some good ones in BC. I was going to do a load in BC, but I couldn't. I wasn't really finding what I wanted. And then I know that people were interested in seeing this truck at East Glacier. I had a few requests for that, so that kind of won out in the end. But I was thinking that logging ore equipment run north of Pemberton on ProMods Canada up towards where I guess up there Littlewood. Oh no, that's not it. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name of the place. Braylorn. Yeah. So getting back to the skin, I made some logos for the hood. The Edison logos, I made those up.
Right. After 50 yards, go straight.
I checked the one on their web page, and it was so small. It was tiny. So
go straight.
what I did is I took it and I blew it up. Real big, but boy, it was fuzzy. It was like, you know, looking through gauze at it. But I used it as a pattern, and I don't know, this one's not bad, I guess. But I made it huge so that I would have and I saved it in my logos folder. And I can shrink it down to this size, and it doesn't, it's still pretty crisp. But yeah, I guess I'll just maybe tweak the skin a bit and I'll put it out. So it should have a link to the skin in the video. And this is going to be a real long video again, unfortunately.
Right. After 50 yards, go straight.
All the goofing around we had to do to get out of there. But it's not on the throttle. Hasn't been for about 1/8 of a mile. Still coasting. It'd be cool if there's a gauge. I wonder if one of those gauges, I didn't figure them out. If one of them is telling us what kind of battery he's got going on. Holy, you get in trouble with this thing.
Go straight.
that space back from them. This goes to 2 lanes once we're over the hill for a little piece. I think we're gonna enough traffic here. We're just 65 miles an hour. Oh, I can't handle this AI. You really want to get somewhere, they do this. We're going 38 and 65. It's going to go down to 1 lane here, and everybody's going to be messed up. Shoot. Including us. I'll lean on this guy a little bit. Maybe he'll get the idea that we're coming in there. There he goes. Thanks for cooperating. Oh, now we got somebody on the side of the road here. Not another Lincoln Navigator. What were the chances?
Go straight.
Ooh. Run this guy over. Oh, come on, everybody.
Go straight.
Good thing ever snort. And pass these guys. Can't be taking this. Oh no. Oh. Customer expects delivery soon. Here we are messing around with these guys.
Go straight.
Maybe we'll have to give this guy a little bit of a reminder that. Oh, this guy's gonna let us go. Awesome. All right. Trailer damage 1%. We must have nicked him. Okay, well, we're on our way. Jeez. What steers really weird though when you're got that front axle pulling. Okay. But this thing just gone. Foot's nowhere near the throttle. Yeah, this thing's got some jam. I hate driving like that. Sorry about that, guys, but it's just...
Go straight.
They're annoying when everybody gets just silly. It's like
Right. After 50 yards, exit right ahead.
like Recon was saying, the some of the traffic mods that
Exit
make
right
the
ahead.
traffic more aggressive actually makes the traffic flow better. Because they're not all sitting there, well, you know, 2 of them sitting there afraid to move. Somebody's gonna go. And it actually speeds it up. Boy, this thing really will get away from you. Gotta think about the throttle and off it goes. That speedo climb, wow, it's like a car.
Keep right. After 50 yards, exit right ahead.
Okay, we've just got 10 miles left.
Exit right ahead.
We have HMS machinery.
Keep right. After 50 yards, turn right.
Frames are going crazy again downhill.
Turn right.
Well, I'd have to go get back in a conventional truck and remind myself how to shift gears.
Keep right. After 50 yards, turn right.
We just glanced at that pole back there.
Right.
Didn't do anything to the trailer. Oh, this says trailer 0%.
After 100 yards, turn left.
We're gonna be right across the road from across the highway from
Turn left.
Salmon's Trucking. One of Recon's first prefabs in the Montana when it came out. jump out so we can see where it is.
After
Right over there,
100 yards, turn left.
right across the road, there's the car wash and the office
Turn
and
left.
backyard. Cool. Well, salmon's trucking. There's a few skins out for that. I think I did 3. The 352. The Shadow Walker.
You have reached your destination.
K100. And the Astro. Not I can do anything. Sorry, I can't, not with this. I can't back it up. There we go. I thought I would be able to back it up in the yard when I was trying to get loaded. That was really tough. I got talked to Recon about that trigger. There was a trailer right on each side, and there wasn't enough room to get it in there, so I tried some maneuvering and stuff, and it just wasn't going to happen. Why, sure is. Hurricane, the grass is real long here too. What's going on with all that long grass? Go. Now I want to see something real quick. I'm gonna just zoom in on those pernurdle things. That's first. That's neutral. Yeah, they don't do anything. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, and I changed the tires and wheels on the truck. I put on, well, I got a combination of things. I'll show you here when I get back out of here rather. So on the back, we've got Smarties stuff. So Smarties chrome 5-hole, 5-hand hole rather. And then we've got Smarties tires. And on the front, we've got the Alcoa 3.0 pack, the Alcoa heavy wide tires and wheels. And the trailer, I had this trailer already, so I didn't mess with it. Got the goggles 56 paint and chrome mud flaps. I should have made a tumbler ridge because, as you can see on the side, logging and lumber, machinery and service. I did that so you'd have an excuse to pull lowboys and stuff with this skin. Anyway, well, thanks for following along, guys. That's definitely an intriguing truck, and I think once you get the driveline sorted out and what it's about and how it works, it's fun. And I'm going to try to build another one and just see with the 335 horsepower, 330, whatever it is, again, just to try it, because I didn't think it was drivable really, and maybe I missed something, I don't know. But I'll try it again, but definitely with a couple hundred more RPM, makes it a lot responsive, and it actually drives. Anyway, thanks for following along, really appreciate it. Take care, bye for now.